is. I was going to say, Ross, did you?
Hey, I appreciate y'all putting this together and taking my question. I feel like I heard a little bit of fatalism in one of the previous answers. So I wanted to ask, do any of y'all foresee maybe a potential future in which misinformation plays, a smaller role, where people are more likely to accept election results and where election workers aren't threatened as much? And if so, what's it going to take to get there?
Esoteric question from you there. Misinformation, disinformation will always be there. It's campaigns. I mean, they refer to John Adams as a hermaphroditic dwarf in that election. So that's just something we deal with out in the world. It's a question for voters to be discerning around that. We anticipate people who are elected to high office to be of a certain level of responsibility. Maybe not morality is not the right answer, but responsibility to defend the institutions. And I think over time, voters will reward people eventually who are responsible actors who defend the institutions and keep this 200-plus-year-old democratic republic going. I always stay optimistic. We're always going to get through this. I mean, Winston Churchill had a line basically that, democracy was the worst form of government except every other kind, and that Americans always do the right thing after exhausting every possible option. So I always have a belief that we will get there, and I don't know the path. I'm not God. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. All the people up here will continue to tell the truth and do their job and follow the law, and eventually the outcomes are correct from that, and we saw that in the election in 2022 when Brad Raffensperger won the biggest margin of anybody in the state of Georgia. So there was an outcome that was positive based by doing the right thing. So eventually, elected officials are looking out for themselves as best they can. They might follow that path eventually.